Yes, guys. Yes, people. Welcome back to another live stream. Welcome back to another video on Carefree Lewis G. Guys, smash the like and subscribe button on your way in, just the same way you guys always do. We're here to talk all things Romelu Lukaku. We're here to talk about Tammy Abraham, all the other transfer news that's potentially coming around today as well. We're probably going to chat about the Chelsea-Spurs match again. We'll talk about how and why we bottled the 2-0 lead at home. But it is what it is. As long as we get a striker in, we ain't going to complain too much, because this is yet another game that clearly showed exactly what we're lacking, and it's a number 9 up front. Fata, I want to go to you first, because I want to ask your thoughts in the game, and also specifically your boy Timo's performance.
I don't think it was that bad. It was okay. It's just one of those couple of chances like, I'm so annoyed about it, but you was getting caught offside, same old like last season. But yeah, I feel like it's only friendly. We don't need to panic that much, and I feel like he'll be improving by next season for sure. And the game itself, I thought first half we played really well, and somehow in the second half we were a bit too complacent. Tuchel brought on Bakayoko. I can't lie. If you watch those robot films, it's like he's like a malfunctioning robot. So basically like that.
Now, to be fair, everyone's saying in the comment section as well, Werner's goal was actually onside, but VAR
was.
For that one.
Lewis, there's a campaign against Timo Werner. There's a campaign against him.
It wasn't that horrible. Come on. He wasn't.
No, it wasn't even close. He was like 2 yards onside. It was a horrible call from the official.
Was it really that bad?
Who has the sound on?
Oh my goodness.
VAR, it's a goal 100%.
But,
100%.
But let's not forget how awful robotic malfunction Bakayoko is. Oh my!
No, that guy's not going to be in the squad. He's gone.
His first touch, he literally gave the ball away.
Let's not start on Timu Bakayoko. It was a good 40 seconds before the guy lost the ball and he came onto the pitch. But it wasn't even just him. Like, I won't even single out Bakayoko. We just saw the massive golfing class between the first team and the loan army, and a lot of those players just showed exactly why they ain't making it at Chelsea, or they ain't making it until they at least have a couple loan spells. The only player from the second half that even really impressed me when they came on was Christian Pulisic and what was his name? Tino Andrin. Tino Andrin looked really impressive when he came on. Missed a bit of technique, but he's 18 years old and everything, so I don't care too much.
He's just coming back from the vid too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Who's that guy number 4 on the left? He came
Milan.
Oh, terrible. He was
horrendous.
Yeah, he gave away the ball for the second goal.
Yeah.
He gave away the ball all match.
Yeah,
Kennedy was pretty good, to be fair.
I just don't see him in there.
I thought Kennedy was pretty good, to be fair. As a left back, he was
That's
brighter going forward.
I think it was it Emerson though?
No,
I swear I looked like that. I was Emerson.
Emerson was in the final, bro. He ain't even in the squad.
Yeah, he was wearing 33 though.
Yeah, Kennedy. Yeah, but like there was a bunch of different numbers. There was what was it? Star had Christensen's number. You had Chalobah had James's number.
No, he didn't. James is 24.
Yeah, Chalobah was wearing
24.
He was wearing 26, I thought.
No, I was 24, bro.
They put it down in the football as 26 on the thing, but he wasn't. He was wearing 24.
He was wearing 26 the game before.
They're just throwing numbers around like it's anything.
That's John Terry's number, isn't it?
Last game too, but I don't remember.
26 was Terry. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Did they retire the number 26?
No.
I think it's one of those things like Zola where they haven't officially retired it, but they just don't give it out.
Yeah.
So because
Zola's preseason doesn't matter.
Zola actually was retired. They actually did retire Zola's number.
Yeah, Zola's is retired, but I didn't know
what
if
is Zola's number
or not. 25. No one's won that since.
It's a weird number to be a midfielder in.
And everyone's got a number nowadays. Zola did it before it was cool. Big up Artem saying Bakayoko was Tottenham's man of the match. He probably was, because the whole Spurs team were horrendous. First half, they genuinely didn't do shit. the first team was running rings around them. N'Golo Kante was taking the piss out of Dele Alli, spun him back to MK Dons. Kovacic was just impressible as always, and he was progressing the ball really well. Ziyech looked really good. Really good. And I'm hoping it's a sign for the season as well. I'm not going to take too much into it because that wasn't a Spurs side that even really threatened us in the first half. If we both kept the same teams through the 90 minutes, we probably would have seen it be 3-0 Chelsea, 4-0 Chelsea. But then we end up having to make rotations as per usual. But a lot of the first team were very positive. Trevor Chalobah, I want to know what's happening with him. Is he staying in the squad? Is he leaving the squad? Because he's probably the player he's probably been one of our most impressive players this preseason. And if we kept him as like depth for centre back, I wouldn't necessarily be against it. Like, he's had a really good preseason for us. He's very impressive.
Yeah, I think he stays. If you listen to Tuchel after the match, he said he has one center back spot open, and Trevor's done a really good job to earn a spot. And if Zuma goes and Koundé comes in, you still have one spot. So I think he stays, to be honest with
you. Trevor looks good though on that right hand side. He looks good.
So he can play all three positions actually on the center back line. So I'm guessing. Well, what I've heard is that Koundé coming in is not dependent on Zuma leaving because he has one more slot. Chalobah staying at Chelsea is dependent on Zuma leaving.
Yeah, I agree.
Zuma don't want to leave though. That's the way it's looking.
He's a fucking idiot.
First he wanted to stay in England and stay in London. Now he has a London club and he still felt personal terms. And regardless of how broke West Ham look, I don't believe 40k a week wages were the problem. Unless he wanted a massive pay rise to go there.
Well, I'm not being funny though. Surprised if Leicester go in for him now.
Yeah, because Fofana's out.
Yeah,
broke his
so
leg.
Leicester goes for him.
Speaking of which, like all the fours go out to him and I hope his recovery as well, because that was a fucking awful
nasty tackle. Especially
that was deep, man. Pre-season game as well. Stupid, man.
We got to play these pricks next.
Yeah, I'm low-key worried about it too. Spanish clubs have a habit of being dirty on the pitch as well.
Or like Rudiger or someone. Run through him if he plays.
Next week.
I don't want them to run near him. He's fucking off his head.
No, I want him to have the ball and I want them to go through him. Take man, ball, everything.
Now, you know what? That's why we need Romelu Lukaku in early. He can run through the guy. And I actually wouldn't be worried about a leg break. Maybe for the other guy, but not for Romy.
Was it Villa? They were played in Villarreal. Is that what they?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
Ads, if you're
Villarreal
trying to
left
trigger, Ads, if you're trying to trigger me this morning, you might want to start over because you ain't getting to me. All you're looking like is an idiot in chat.
What's he even saying?
Oh, that Pulisic was awful. He needs to be sold.
Pulisic was one of our best subs.
He was fine.
He made plenty of chances in that second half.
I like him as a right wing back though. He was okay.
Like he would have had an assist. There was a very good chance he made early when he was interchanging with Kai Havertz. Put it on a plate to Werner and he just shoved it wide.
And then the second time where he hit it straight at the keeper, and then Tammy also hit it straight at the keeper. He could have had 3 assists in one half.
But as per usual, what lets us down? Our finishing. As per fucking usual, man. You can write it every single game. We'll make about 10 chances. If we're lucky, 2 of them will go in. If we're lucky, maybe none of them will go in sometimes.
Would have liked to see Kai take a shot.
Is your boy I'm pointing at when I'm saying that. Second season, I'm not giving him anywhere near the amount of excuses I gave him in the first season. He's a pattern up and quick.
Yeah, I get that, but you know, with Timo Werner, say we play the same formation, he plays that left forward, left attack, and whatever, second striker. He gets in a season 15 assists, 10 goals. That's not too bad thinking about it. In the Premier League.
No, that's a success. But
yeah, that's fun.
That's a success. But then
he gets more assists than goals. That's cool, but you still take into account he gets in so many good positions. His finishing is atrocious.
Yeah, I mean, he pulled the defender for his eyes.
We're going to have a hard time this season for sure, Chris. I can't lie.
What was that?
Well, I said me and Chris are going to have a hard time defending him. Sure.
Bro, I hope he succeeds, man. You already know that. I want him to do well, but he has to start burying these chances. Some of the finishing I saw yesterday was horrendous. Just hit it straight at the keeper half the time.
I do have to admit that. Yes, that's true.
He did pull the defender for Steve's first goal.
Didn't he
This
hit a
is
song
why
demotion?
Werner's so difficult to fucking rate over a game, because his movement is so deadly and he opens up so much space for other players. But when you give him the ball, he just hits the goalkeeper every time. If we're lucky, or it
that
goes
goal
wide.
should count onside. That goal should.
Well, yeah,
that's
that
got a
goal should have counted, obviously. But like, same way I'm talking about all the other chances as well.
Yeah. But the thing is,
Kai
I'm not
left
gonna be
him.
as mad if he gets a goal like every game out, like a few chances, because he does offer a lot of
every
things.
game,
And
everybody's gonna be mad. That's 38
no,
goals.
but I mean, if he misses a lot of chances but still scores and then offers other things to the game and helps us win, I'm not
If
mad.
he scores 38 goals in the Premier League season, everybody, I mean, he'll break a record.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
You said every game.
No, I mean like every so on, like he scores a goal or gets an assist or something like that. He always helps the team with some way. Like if he doesn't score, he's got to get assist. If he doesn't get assist, he's got to win a penalty. He does something. He does something to help the team.
But if you think about it, if we do sign Lukaku, he probably doesn't start.
I reckon he
Timo
plays the left side
doesn't.
of Lukaku.
No, I don't think
Werner
that
wouldn't
does.
start. I think it'll be Mount, Havertz, Lukaku.
I think that would be the three as well.
not so sure.
Kai did sort of leave him hanging a little bit in that pass in the box. Kai probably should have shot that. And he
If
tried
we
to lay
go
it off to him.
3-4, I would prefer Mount play as a midfield.
Yeah.
The only it's definitely Mount and Lukaku in that front three. The only change would be either Werner or Havertz, and I think
It's
Havertz
just
would play.
No. Scotty, I hate to tell you, but you're wrong on that. You don't pay 70 some odd million pounds for a player and not have his first name on the sheet. So it should be Havertz and Lukaku.
We're going to play at the back next season.
For me, it would be Werner, Havertz, Lukaku. Mount wouldn't be in that front three at all. But I know what people are going to say. Oh, you can't drop him. He was our most important player last year, this, that, and the other. And it's like, if he has to play, he has to play. But that means Lukaku has to play. So it's one of Havertz or Werner.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't think Mount is as much as a certain as he was last season.
I don't think he should be either. And this idea that people going, oh, he's essential and all this shit. No, he's not.
He could move into
he's
the
essential.
midfield.
He's essential for his work rate, and if that's what he's essential for, then fucking replace him. Like, you can get work rate elsewhere. And if we're talking about work rate, a lot of work rate is done off the ball, and the best way to defend is on the ball, is having the ball.
Right. I think that Mount brings a lot of possession to if you're looking for a possession base, because when Mount plays in a front three, he drops. He's the farthest forward attacker that drops the deepest, right? He plays more like a number 8. He'll start stuff out of the midfield. And when you do that, then you're taking away some of what Kai does well as well, because you want Kai to drop in at midfield, pick up the ball, and start attacks. Because to me, Kai is much more dynamic on the ball with the ball than Mount is right now going forward in an attacking sense.
Yeah, he is.
I think he's got a lot more pace, the size, the vision, because he can see over everybody to see where everybody is. So I just think that that Havertz, to me, I think is going to have the best season. I think he's going to be our player of the year.
Would you like fancy Ziyech next season?
He's looked good in pre-season, to be fair.
Yeah, looks good as well. He's going to have to really play well to push his way into this side. If we get Lukaku in, it's going to be tough for him regardless of his form, because there's so much competition. You're going to have Mason Mount, Werner, Kai Havertz, Romelu Lukaku. Still need to get a second striker as well on top, and potentially Callum Hudson-Odoi as well. There's plenty of Pulisic too. There's going to be so much competition.
If we go
for, can't talk about Danny Ings anymore.
That came out of nowhere, you know.
Like, on a real,
it did.
That's a good
Villa
signing.
Are making moves. Aston Villa are doing bits.
Yeah, they're making.
It's because it's all Grealish for 100 million.
Yeah, I'd say
Like,
they have
can
100
buy
million
players
to
like that.
spend.
Haven't got that money yet.
One at a time.
No, but like it is sold though. Like he's sold for 100 million.
No, I know.
So.
But I'm saying they're making these signings without even having that money from Grealish. Imagine when they get the Grealish money.
Like, no, but like I think they can make that investment now. They can pay it now and then get the money afterwards, though, can't they?
Do you know what
They're already got the here we go. Paperwork's completed. It's just now the medical for Grealish, and that's done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Werner, excuse me, how did I say Werner? Aston Villa are a far better team as of this morning than they were yesterday.
Yep.
Yep.
Now, people go, well, there's no Jack Grealish. Well, guess what? Jack Grealish is one person. I said a team. They are a better whole team. You take, Grealish is an Eden Hazard type player where he's going to hold the ball up and he's going to be the focal point of your offense. And if you shut him down, Villa lose. If you have a team where the ball's shared and you don't know where the scoring comes from, when one person has a bad game, the others pick them up. And so that's why I said Villa's a better team right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if they come in for Zuma.
They are building a nice team.
They've got a couple of dynamic wingers now too, with Leon Bailey and Bertrand. Like those are two dynamic wingers.
Yeah, they sound Leon Bailey.
Their team's actually mad. Like their squad is actually going to be they're going to be a contender for Europe. And that's not me.
Europa League at least. Europa League at least.
They're going to be competing against Arsenal and stuff like that, right?
Or Conference League.
Well, look, I watched Statman Dave, and he did his prediction. Of course, that was all pre. I don't know why people put predictions out before the season starts or the window ends, because you don't know how a team's going to change. To me, it's. So I think Aston Villa will be the surprise team. They're going to be the dark horse this year, especially if they do go and get Basuma.
I know they're also in.
Anyway, I can't even lie to you guys.
I know they made a bid
for the level of competition in the Premier League, but that's going to be more stiff competition in terms of the Europa League positions for me. I don't, as a top four side, I'm not necessarily worried about them just yet. They'll be like punching above their weight, but that's about it.
They'll be in the position West Ham were in last season, because I don't think West Ham will be in that same position. I think West Ham will still do well, but I think they'll drop a little bit. But I think Aston Villa will be like challenging for that sort of top 8, top 7 position that West Ham were in. And I know they made a bid for Ward-Prowse. It was turned down, but if they go back in for him and somehow get that accepted, that's a banging midfielder as well.
So Craigo in the chat.
Oh shit, big up Craigo. Oh, what are you saying? First off, big up Kevin Fraser as well. Champions of Europe. Big up yourself, my G, man. Also saying, since when was Bailey to Villa confirmed? Has it been confirmed yet?
Yeah, it's been announced.
No, it's done.
The confirmation, or like the here we go from Fabrizio was 2 days
ago. If you want a link to, hop on.
Yeah, I think it was 2 days ago the here we go was gone, and then yesterday the signing was confirmed yesterday morning. I think.
Yeah, Villa did an announcement already and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, they've already announced it then.
Yeah, it's a 4-year deal.
I think he's going to wear number 7 too.
He can't wear the 7. Someone's already got the 7. McGinn's already got the 7. He probably wear the 8 because that's free.
They're gonna play him as a right wing for sure.
Things will get that 10.
Then you're gonna have Dannings in that 10. Then who's on the left hand side though?
Left hand side will be.
You put Bailey on the left. Bailey can play on the left, and you put Traore on the right.
Yeah, Bailey's
Bailey on the left.
Oh yeah.
Bro, and then you've got Buendia as well. Fucking hell!
Oh, Buendia! Oh shit! Yeah.
And they've got Buendia, and they've got what's his face.
They might be getting Ward-Prowse too.
Like, their winger situation, if they get Cantwell, is mad. They get Cantwell, Buendia, Bailey, Traore, Trezeguet, El Ghazi. All of them are like.
El Ghazi's good, man. What are you talking about?
El Ghazi's good, man.
So yeah, I think Aston Villa might have a shout. I think they'll
Ollie Watkins
Spurs
if he's healthy.
I think they'll finish ahead of Spurs.
Spurs with no Harry Kane are a dead team, man.
And
they're a dead team.
Possibly Arsenal.
I was going to say, and there's a chance.
Worldwide Chelsea in the comments too. Big up Worldwide Chelsea.
Come on, Sadiq, man. Big up
Sadiq.
yourself anyway. But bro, I already told you it's not too late to get a Lukaku train ticket, man. I've got plenty left to hand out. I had like thousands of them left at my yard a month ago. Nobody wanted them. Now everyone wants Lukaku tickets. I'm giving them away though. Everyone can come hop on, man. We're going straight to the fucking top. Destination, literally, it says the top. That's where Romelu Lukaku's taking us, man. Come join. Come join, bro. Big up Artem as well, the donation saying, bro, I don't think these reports are true. But if there's a U-turn on Lukaku, I'm going to have to crawl into some hole somewhere and wait until 2022-23. Let's look at the news anyway, because Jester, you sent this to me as well before the stream even started. And it's looking like Inter Milan executives are trying to find a way to get the owners to pull back on letting Romelu Lukaku move to Chelsea. And I find it mad that they're even going to be flip-flopping with Romelu Lukaku like this as well, because this is going to piss him off as a player. He was fine staying at Inter Milan. He had no reason to want to leave. Then he saw that Inter Milan were looking likely to accept an offer for him, and he knows the situation as well with Oaktree and how broke Inter Milan are anyway. If you're their best player and the club is actively looking to sell you, of course you're going to try and find options for yourself anyway, because you also know that the club isn't going to be operating the same way next season as they did last season when they competed and won the Scudetto. So let me get the thing up here as well. It's saying, here's the quote. Just bear with me, guys. Lukaku paused for reflection from Zhang. The executives are breaking through. They've assured that they will reach the target even without giving up Lukaku. I think by the target, they mean like the amount of money that they were meant to make to pay off one of their installments for Oaktree. And without Champions League qualification, the accounts would not be the same. But Chelsea expected to relaunch. And I think by relaunch, they mean relaunch another bid too. That's a really broken translation. But from what it's saying, I think the executives are trying to assure Zhang that they will reach the financial target that they want without even having to sell Lukaku. And without Champions League qualification, they have a lesser chance of making that same amount of money next season. I think that's what they're saying.
We have an update from Monstar. So let's say...
big up Monstar. What's he saying?
Monstar says the only people I pay attention to with this Lukaku story are Fabrizio, Di Marzio, Matt Law, Nazar, and Simon Johnson. So Gazzetta are basically the son of Italy. So that is Monstar's take on that.
Who's even the sources that are breaking this news?
La Gazzetta.
La Gazzetta.
And are they reliable, or because I haven't really looked at them for any big news?
Reliable or not?
The Sun.
Yeah.
The Sun are not reliable.
Hell no. Hell no.
He says they're the son of Italy.
Oh, what? Yeah, no fucking point. Yeah, then that doesn't mean shit.
Well, in fairness to that, DiMarzio is the one who said that our bid would be coming in within hours, and that was 2.5 days ago. So
we're not going to know now. We're not going to know when the bid goes in. We're going to the next thing you're going to hear is it's done or it's off. That's the next thing you're going to hear. You're not going to hear the bid's gone in.
Yes,
because they're obviously because Roman wants him in for Super Cup. They're talking about it now. They're probably hashing out the final details, which are the hardest parts, because when you're talking about the structure of the deal, how much they get up front, if there's any add-ons, how the structure of those add-ons, that's the part that takes a long time. Lukaku's salary is 12 plus 3 in incentives, which is 15 million euro. That's why you see the 12 and the 15 figures being thrown around. His base pay is 12 with 3 million in incentives. That's done, complete. He's agreed. He's agreed to join Chelsea, and he's even told the board that if a certain bid comes in, he wants them to accept it. So that's all done and dusted. So what this article could be one of two things. One, because of all the backlash, the board are trying to save face, and they'll just blame everything on. Look at this man down here. What's up, bro?
Man, I can't talk that much.
Yes, bro. What are you saying?
Well, say what you got to say, then. I'll shut up.
Look at the smile ever since he said the Lukaku deal might be falling through.
No,
Look
listen,
at that smile.
Listen. they're probably saying it because they're trying to make it seem like Lukaku's pushing for the move only. I want to be real.
So what, they want to try?
Happen.
But that's impossible to do because everyone knows their situation, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then obviously, if the board say the player wants to leave anyway, it's kind of pushing on him, innit? And then they want the fans to hate on Lukaku instead.
But Romelu was so clear throughout the summer that he was happy to stay. Like we were barely even going to pursue him because of that.
Yeah, see, I think they're going to blame it on the owner because he's Chinese and he's not Italian.
Listen. These guys have been getting it wrong anyway in the last 2-3 weeks, regardless. So, can they be wrong all the time? That's the question.
But Lukaku
Tier 2 Fabrizio.
Are we talking about the source? Because I was having a little look, like just going through, search them in Twitter and just going through the stories that they've reported on, and some of them are just fucking nonsense.
That's what I'm saying.
With the Hakimi deal, where it's like we were willing to put Loftus-Cheek in there as part of the deal. There was a report from like 4 or 5 years ago that Juve were interested in Lukaku.
Yeah, no, you're right. When they've been getting it wrong,
And from every indication, like, so with that tier thing of like how reliable they are, they're in tier 3. Like, even there was a Tottenham Twitter account that like retweeted a report that they did and put like tier 3. Yeah, they, from all indications, they're not reliable at all.
Yeah,
Fabrizio tier 2.
you know, fam.
Where's the bid, Sadiq?
I'm hoping
they said few hours. They said few hours, fam. It's been 2 days, bro.
Yeah, but Sadiq, you know, with like these sorts of negotiations, when there's so much money involved, it takes time, doesn't it?
Yeah, but we know the number, right?
Cool. You're right. But the thing is, they're saying that it will take a few hours. They shouldn't have said that. They said few hours, bro. It's not right. Just like
Fabrizio called the man untouchable a week ago.
It's wrong.
You should call no man untouchable.
He even went back and defined what he meant, and that's that he had been informed by the Inter board that he was untouchable. So that he's literally just being told something, and he has reported it.
So and Lukaku would have thought that he was untouchable as well, but now we've seen bids coming in for him, and Inter Milan look like they want to accept if they reach a certain amount. Of course, he's going to think about it, especially when it's Chelsea.
No, but hear this. He denied saying that he didn't say no chance that he will leave. He denied it as well on Twitch, and it's wrong. Fabrizio, he's like, I didn't say no chance, but he did say no chance. That's what I'm saying.
I've always said Fabrizio has a habit of doing that. It's just everyone falls for whatever he says anyway, so no one's going to listen regardless.
Lukaku did say months ago that he's happy to stay, right? And Inter Milan didn't want to sell. But then as soon as we go in for 2 bids, and then that's when Inter Milan say, you know what, we would sell if we put a certain price, and then Lukaku agrees to join. Yeah. Don't go back on your word now, Inter Milan, because you fucked up.
And there were reports that Tuchel's been talking to him since the Euros, like, so he knows we're interested in him. It wasn't like it came out of nowhere. Apparently, like if Tuchel's been talking to him since Euros, then he's known we have interest in him. Like the whole like just because he saw some bids, now he wants to come. Like he knows that we were in on him. Apparently,
it's weird though because July 26th, he was saying how happy he is, like he loves it there. So, I don't know, man.
Most players do that.
That's just PR.
It's not. No, it's not even PR. It's a case of like most players are happy where they are, but it's a case of that's because they haven't thought about other options. Like for example, I imagine Tammy's really happy at Chelsea, but it's quite clear he ain't getting game time here. He's not playing here, so then he has to think about moving on. But I imagine just without the like before all the talk of like him not being wanted and him having to move on, he was happy at Chelsea. It's the same with most players. I imagine a lot of players are happy where they are, but then circumstances change where now they have to reevaluate their situation.
Yeah.
Big up Myron saying the Zhang family have been told to divest from football by PRC, right? Don't think they give an F about Inter's board. Who's PRC, Jester? Do you know them?
It's the Communist Party of China. People's Republic of China.
People's Republic, yeah.
China. The big country itself.
No business in China is owned by an individual. It's all owned by the country.
Yeah, government owns everything. So if they tell you to do something and you don't do it, you get disappeared.
Yeah.
So regardless, he's saying like they're gonna try to push Romelu Lukaku out anyway because they want to get the financial gain from that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if we got the whole country of China on their back, then those rumors shouldn't mean shit.
Yeah. Lewis, last point. I got a different last point though. Lukaku will come regardless, but if it doesn't happen, can we say Haaland's season or not?
I'll say Haaland's season if I see him holding up a Chelsea shirt.
You know who we're going to get? Lewin.
I already told you, man. I'll pick up a Haaland train ticket late on when I know it's happening. I always plan up late.
I'll show you lot soon, man.
Bless, man. You take care. Have a good day, bro. Big up Concierge of Crime as well, saying still waiting on the Haaland bid that CFC News page reported last week. No bids, just vibes. What did he report that there was a bid that actually dropped?
Look again. We're playing with semantics again. There was no official bid. The final offer we offered to Dortmund was turned down. Okay, maybe that was our highest dollar, or maybe we said to go above this, we have to try out Lukaku first. So I'm guessing we got to a certain point and we said to go above this, we at least have to make sure we can't get Lukaku, because then you're getting into territory where it does affect player salary. It affects what we do in the future and everything else. So I think that at a certain point they said, you know what? Let's go see if we can get Lukaku. And if we can't get Lukaku, we'll circle back to Haaland and give them what they want. Because the only strikers that we will bring in this summer are one of Lukaku, Kane, Haaland, or Lewandowski.
We're not bringing
those. Don't come in. We are not getting a striker this summer.
So what? You think there's the potential that if Lukaku falls through, we could go back to try and get Erling Haaland?
They better.
That's a possibility. Yes.
Because ain't Dortmund usually likely to set, or have they even set a deadline on the Haaland transfer? Because I know we heard like a month or two ago that there was no deadline.
Those reports are so sketchy. Right now, everything coming out of because there's an NDA on that whole thing. Nobody can actually tell you what's going on. That's actually in on the deal. Few people that were in Haaland's camp that let some stuff slip. They got smacked in the back of their head. I know that for a fact. That's why stuff stopped slipping. So again, we don't know exactly what the situation is with Dortmund because nobody can speak on it.
So just a real. Go ahead, Scott. Or Mo. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mo.
And yeah, one thing is for sure, regardless, at the end of the day, I think what it comes down to is whatever player that we decide to go after, as long as we are able to put down the money that's being asked, we are going to get the player. That's for me at least is for sure. The fact of the matter is now that there's hiccups in this Lukaku deal or whatever, people are going to melt down. People are going to either say, oh my God, does that mean Haaland is back on? People are just going to go all over the place again, isn't it? But the fact of the matter is, as long as we address the issue at hand, which is we need a goal scorer, why does it really matter at the end of the day? I think at the end of the day, we need to worry about how can we be competing with the teams that are already making their teams even more stronger than they were already. And Man City is not playing about. And it's not just Man City. Man United is not playing about. I just think they have a manager.
No, none of our rivals are. Look at Tottenham. They're getting a banging centre-back. I think they might be going back in for Tomiyasu, possibly, which fixes another area they need. Like, the only thing they really need is a striker. Like, they're sorting out areas in their squad. Same with United, as we mentioned. Even Arsenal are doing it. Leicester have done it. Villa are doing it. Everyone around us is doing it, apart from us.
Jessica, can I ask you real quick on some fees? So, apparently, the rumored Lukaku fee is what, 120 plus 8, right? Euros?
And there's been so many of them come out, so
right.
I can't.
Well, the one I keep seeing the most is 120 plus 8 for him. That's not probably the most. There are a bunch of numbers, but and then what? The rumored Haaland number was 130 euros, right? So I don't understand why if 120 plus 8 we would be willing to spend on Lukaku and 130 for Haaland, why we wouldn't be able to push that Haaland money up a bit.
Agent fees, dad fees, everything.
Again, what usually happens in transfers is when the fee goes in, the agents are paid out of that fee, right? The total transfer fee. It's not transfer fee plus agent fees. It's all combined into
it's all in the package.
It's all in the package. What we were going to do is, and this is why they were talking about FFP so much, was the money that was in the bid was straight to Dortmund. The fees we were going to pay separate. Roman was going to pay them.
The 40 million, right?
Whatever the fees were.
Yeah.
So then how that would happen? The money would go through Chelsea. It has to go through Chelsea. So the bid would look like 175 million, 180 million because of the fees. But in reality, what you would have paid for straight to Dortmund would have been about 130 million euro. And they wanted 150, 175 million euro. And then you would have to pay the agent fees on top of that outside of what you gave Dortmund. So you're rising about over 200 million euro. Then you have the salary on top of it. So you can understand why they're doing their due diligence on Lukaku, and he's going to be a lot cheaper. He's going to be under 200K a week, plus as a base salary, plus he's got incentives. So that's a lot less than it would be close. The whole total package would be about 300 million euro for Haaland. That's salary, everything, a little over 300 million euro. So
300 million for one player, I can never get over that. It's absolutely ridiculous. Has to be a Ballon d'Or winner for me at that point. Yeah. Big up Myron saying, imagine Inter don't sell and we do land Erling Haaland. I'm telling you guys, Johnny and what's his name, Sadiq, are going to be on the maddest trip if that goes through. And I kind of want to see it happen as well. Because I want to witness chaos like that. These would be on the biggest hype sesh. And everyone would get it. I'd probably get it too, but I'm here for it. Do you want to know why? Because it'd be hilarious to watch anyway, so I don't care too much.
I was going to say, I wouldn't care, because then we'd have a banging striker.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just feel like,
my head.
I just feel like every day now, since they've said like the couple of hours to bid, every day, like the time frame gets extended in the next 2 to 3 days, in the next 4 to 5 days, by Monday. It's like every day it's the time frame is extended on when they want him in. It's all before the Super Cup, but the dates keep changing like crazy. Every single day it's different. Like this morning, what Fabrizio said, 4 to 5 days? Did he post that? I read it somewhere, 4 to 5 days. It's like, I mean, come on. If we know the number, because obviously if this was our second official bid, then we know the number and we would just put the bid in. So I don't know what on our end what would change that much.
Well, you know what I'm wondering as well, like when it comes to these types of deals, like hearing the fact that us getting Lukaku is going to trigger Inter to get Zubata for us to then get Atalanta to come and get Tammy Abraham. And the only thing that would have been like the icing on the cake for me would have definitely been like a Marcos Alonso is included in the deal, because that means we've gotten rid of 2 players that in reality we have been trying to get rid of. That means the wage bill is now definitely less, and we've addressed the problem. Again, like there was no way you could look at negatives from these deals, and if you wanted to, you can by saying we didn't get Haaland, but let's be realistic here. Haaland was always going to be a bit of a long shot because the deal involved was not cheap.
Yeah, according to another Italian report, which is I think it's DiMarzio, that Zapata, who would be the replacement Inter would bring in, the agent has not heard anything from Inter yet.
It's because they don't need to do it until after Lukaku goes.
Oh, here's something even more important.
If they do need a striker on the cheap.
Yeah, here we go. Double done deal.
Stick AC at striker. Stick AC there.
Demiral is going to at Atlanta.
Who? Demo.
Demo.
Oh, yeah, he's going on loan with an option to buy to replace Romero, who's going to Spurs.
Right.
Yeah.
But that was one of the people they wanted to bring in before, because people usually want to bring their signings in before they make a sell.
Yeah.
Because then they don't get roasted
except us.
Yeah.
Jules Koundé, who we're still waiting on, who the reports were it doesn't matter if we sell Zuma first, they're still, or Zuma's in the deal, they're still going to get Koundé, which we haven't had any movement on that yet.
Yeah, but again, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. None of us do. They might be waiting to see if anybody's going to come in for Zuma. And I think really that Aston Villa could probably come in for him.
Aston Villa don't need him. He'd be third choice centre back if he was
anybody. I blame Lewis and Father last night. You guys were cheering his name every time he made a tackle. You're making him want to stay even more. Boo this man so that he'll want to leave. Zuba. Every tackle he made yesterday, everybody was cheering him.
Beautiful, bro, even if he should be in that position.
You have to love it.
Yeah, he was good. He was good.
Yeah, big up finishing as well, saying at this point we will bottle Lukaku and Haaland. Oh man, let's think positive. One of them will come through the door. If neither of them do, let's panic.
This one went overboard though, I can't lie, but still.
Imagine we sign both.
Yeah, Nikhil's saying imagine we sign both. Bro, we're trying to get one, man. Let's do baby steps first.
They're talking about both, man.
What we talking about? Spending nearly 500 million on two.
We get banned for at least 3 years from like signing players, bro. That's how bad that day would be.
Well worth it.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous. I'd love that though. Lukaku and Haaland up front will win everything in this sport. Everything. In fact, we'll go to rugby and win everything there too. We'll go get both of them. Big up Chris Orca saying Lukaku this window, Haaland next summer, and Roman has his dynasty. We win the treble. Unstoppable. If both of them come in though, I will say you're gonna see a lot more of your favorite attackers disappear. Because
they would bring both of them in.
Lewis, Werner was onside yesterday.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Irony.
He was.
I saw the offside flag come up and I was like,
to be honest, I was there. I generally thought he was onside as well, bro. I was just
it was a terrible. With no VAR, these refs need to be giving the benefit of the doubt to the attacker. If they're not going to use VAR,
it was not VAR, but still.
There was no VAR.
I'm saying if they're not going to use VAR, like if it's not available, then the refs have to give benefit of doubt to the attacker.
But look, but then Willock's goal with the counter at the Emirates, so it is what it is.
But it wasn't close. That's the thing. So what are these referees getting paid to do? Get wrong decisions.
Yeah,
I mean, what have referees been getting paid for the last decade to do other than wrong decisions? The refereeing in England is atrocious.
It's pretty bad.
A referee is a funny thing, you know. They get paid to give their opinion on what's a foul and what's not a foul.
And most of the time, their opinions aren't even correct, even with a TV screen in front of their face.
So I'm going to throw some America in this. I would change out every EPL referee with MLS referees.
Oh no, you're not the only one. So would I. I watch the MLS regularly, and it's fucking brilliant. And when it comes to
EPL refs are so bad.
There's a reason none of them are the World Cup.
No question. Yeah, in regards to Chris's thing, another thing Fabrizio said, he saw the other day, he said, keep an eye on Chelsea next year for Haaland, but then he also said, as well as every other big club. So I'm like, why is that news? Why would you report that? Like,
I'm going to be honest, Fabrizio and Jan have been horrific for Chelsea this summer. They've given us nothing.
Everybody has.
Matt Law, but Matt Law's come on from holiday and he's given us more and bigger news than Fabrizio has given us in the last 2 months. Just circling. I don't know what happened. It may happen. Keeping us in a twist.
Big up Artem as well. Much appreciated for the donation, my guys. As well, guys, if you want to help the channel, much appreciated if you drop a few more. Artem saying, feel like we will be flexible with formations this year. Play back four versus low block quality teams. and back three in more competitive games. I wouldn't think it's as cut and dry as low block versus open games. I think it more depends on the team that we're going to face anyway. Because there's some teams that play defensive, there's some teams that play hella defensive football, where like they're not even trying to attack. And then there's some teams where it's just a massively open game. I think we'll just play a formation depending on the teams that we face regardless. But it could be more like in and out, depending on the team that we face. But I fully agree with you with the fact that we're going to be more flexible with formations this year. I've been anticipating that as well. One of the biggest things about Thomas Tuchel when he was joining Chelsea that a lot of people spoke about was his flexibility and how he would change formations up, sometimes even in mid-game if he saw that one wasn't working, as opposed to Lampard, Sarri, Conte, who always just stuck with the same plan A and it never worked.
Okay, here's another update.
Didn't Alex say something like there was one game where he changed formation 4 times, winning one game?
Yeah, but the Champions League.
Yeah, something along that.
So here's an update.
Where is
Monday? Chelsea will sit down with Atalanta about 10
on Monday. So that means Lukaku should be done by then.
You'd think, or Zapata's moving regardless.
Myron.
You think he'll go to Atlanta, like on personal terms?
I think Atlanta's a better place for him to go than anywhere in the Premier League.
I was going to say, of all the options, it's the best option. You've got a side that play very attacking football, that create a lot of chances. And Matisse tweeted about this, and I replied to his tweet earlier, saying, if you look at what Gasparini's done at Atalanta, look at the strikers or the attackers he's got. All of them either have some level of deficiency in their game or have not done it at other clubs, and he's managed to do wonders with all of them. Muriel flopped at Sevilla and he was good at Sampdoria. I don't remember how he was at Udinese. Zapata wasn't brilliant at Sampdoria, wasn't brilliant at Napoli. What?
He was a flop though, Zapata.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He wasn't brilliant at Napoli, wasn't brilliant at Sampdoria, doing wonders at Atalanta. Ilicic never did immense at Palermo or at Fiorentina, doing bits at Atalanta. He's always getting the best out of these players that just have a little bit of deficiency or like are missing something, and like they create so many chances. So he'll get goals. He'll be forced to a striker, but he'll get goals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So also, Atalanta has Champions League football. So what if it's possible that we could see Tammy Abraham in the Champions League in the group stage?
You know they would give him to us in the group stage as well.
I would love it.
I'm expecting us to draw Ajax again. Also, please, I'm begging you. I expect us to draw Ajax again because Ziyech is there.
I prefer Paris. I don't mind.
I went Dortmund in it.
I'm going Paris, man. Don't want to get beaten by fucking PSG fans. I'd rather be at a coffee shop in Dam.
We can't play. We can play PSG.
We can't play.
Yeah, pot 2 is a madness. You know we're gonna get one tough draw regardless.
No, we can play because we're in pot 1, aren't we?
Yeah, we're in pot 1.
Yeah, so we can get them. So that's what I'm saying. We can't get like Lille or we can't get Inter Milan.
I don't think Ajax are in pot 1, FR. I don't think they are, despite being Eredivisie champions.
Let me have a little check. Let me pop.
From what I've heard, pot 2 is going to be Liverpool, Manchester United, PSG, Barcelona,
Juventus.
Real Madrid,
Juventus.
Who else? Yeah, Juventus.
Sevilla.
Potentially.
Do you want me to read you the pots? Like, there's only 3.
So
pot 1. So I've just found it. Pot 1 is us, Villarreal, Atletico Madrid, City, Man City, Inter Milan, Bayern Munich, Lille, and Sporting. Pot 2, fucking hell. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus, PSG, Manchester United, Liverpool, Sevilla, Dortmund.
With our luck, we'll go and get fucking.
We'll get PSG.
Not with that. With our luck, it'll be Sevilla, and it'll just be a shit away day.
We have to play one team from pot 2.
Yeah,
give me Dortmund, please.
Yeah.
I want Dortmund.
Give me Dortmund. I want Dortmund as well.
That away day would be brilliant. And then pot 3 as well. Pot 4's not on here, but pot 3 of these teams depend on qualifying. But you've got Porto, Ajax, Shakhtar, Leipzig, Salzburg, Benfica, Atalanta, and Zenit.
Ajax are in pot 3.
Yeah, they are.
Nice.
Right,
and go on, you get Ziyech reunion because I know you lot rigged those polls.
if we get Ajax, we miss Atalanta. So no worries about Tammy coming back and scoring.
Yeah, big up Go AM saying Atlanta United want Tappy. I knew MLS was his true level. I love that little spin on it, man. Big up yourself as well, bro. Much appreciated. Oh, yeah, the pots look ridiculous for this season. We are guaranteeing at least one tough team.
Pot 2 is harder than Pot 1.
Oh, yeah, no, it's because this was the year when, like, all the, like, smaller teams, in quotation marks, won their league titles. So it's like all the harder teams are just in Pot 2.
And don't forget, there's a couple of qualifying round matches left have been sorted out.
Yo, anybody in chat that says we're talking about at Atlanta, not at Atlanta, Go AM knows that. It was a joke.
He said
MLS. It's probably on me because I put the wrong spelling. That's on me. My bad, guys.
We know that at Atlanta is in Italy, but there is a city in the United States called
Atlanta.
Yeah, 88.
Geography with gestures.
Yeah, no, I get some geography here.
Are you smarter than a fifth grader?
I am. Just barely, though. Just barely.
We'll make it
I
the
was
show.
in the slow class, 5th grade.
He's going to the MLS, guys. Listen.
Just a question to you, because not that I care too much, because we looks like we're getting a world-class striker, but don't you guys fear a tiny bit that we may be overpaying?
For
who? Lukaku?
No. Yeah.
I thought we were overpaying for Erling Haaland, 300 million for one player who's going to leave in 3 years.
Let's not.
You're overpaying regardless, isn't it?
These are just market prices.
Would you say City are overpaying for Grealish at 100 million for his age?
That was a release clause.
Was it? Oh, was it really? But
I think there was a clause in his contract.
For his importance to Aston Villa and the growth that they're on right now, and also the amount of years left on his contract, I think 100 million is a fair deal for him.
The price is fair if we agree to pay it.
I think they way overpaid.
Yeah, but that's overpriced. It's a release clause.
I think Grealish is overpriced.
Yeah.
No.
Listen, if we're paying 100,
I think 100 million is fair for him.
If we're paying 100, almost 130 for Lukaku, and he's 28, and they're paying 100 for Grealish, who's what, 26, 27?
25.
Different roles in the squad.
I was going to say there's a few things. Number one is the homegrown thing. Number two is the fact.
Oh, but Lukaku's homegrown too.
Is he?
That was your point, then, my bad.
No, how long was he with us for after he joined from Anderlecht? Because I don't think he does.
I don't know. I asked that question last night.
I've seen it reported.
He's been in England for over. He was in England for over 5 years.
But you have to be, for him to count as homegrown, he has to have been there for a certain amount of time before he turns 21. And I don't know how long he was with us before that.
He was there
I think it was 3 years, but he's been with us since he was like 17.
Oh, but he went
16,
and he went to Everton. Yeah, he counts as well. Actually, yeah, he counts as well. He went to Everton.
Yeah, he never left England until Inter.
Yes, but yeah, with Grealish, it's the fact that, as I said, he's homegrown, which helps because City are really bad with the homegrown thing, and also he's Aston Villa's best player by far. He's the most important player and their best player by far.
No, but this thing that City is bad with the homegrown stuff is actually a myth, because when you look at their players, they are players that are people just look for the English flag, and that's the problem. They've got Nathan Ake, they've got a goalkeeper, and literally, I believe I counted about 7 or 8 players in their first team.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you've got.
Because I know you've got Ake, you've got Walker, you've got Stones.
Stones.
I'll literally just look at their squad now.
You've got
Zinchenko, I think.
Zinchenko is
come out of their academy.
I think.
Yeah, Zinchenko counts.
He did, but I don't know what age.
That it was 5 years ago, so he counts. So yeah, they've got Zinchenko, they've got Walker, Stones, Ake, they've got Sterling. They've got Foden, they've got Scott Carson.
I don't even know who that is.
They've got Patrick Roberts.
Oh, anybody knows it. Scott Carson. Well.
They've got Scott Carson, Patrick.
I went to high school with the Scott Carson.
The goalkeeper, Nathan Ake, Raheem Sterling, John Stones, Kyle Walker. That's 8, I believe I've just counted. And Zinchenko is not someone I counted actually, but yeah, he would be part of that too.
It depends when they got him, though, Andrew.
I'm trying to find out when the whole Zinchenko thing happened, because that's the only
one. Zinchenko they signed in 2016. He would. That was 5 years ago. He would have been 19.
I think you have to be under 17, don't you?
No, you have to. Actually, no, he might not count because you have to be. I think it's 3 years before they.
Yeah.
No, he's not homegrown because he would have
okay.
only been. He would have only been with them 2 years before he joined. Before he turned 21. Sorry. So yeah, he's not homegrown.
So he doesn't count.
Did Grealish have a
Why
$100
are we doing
million
this?
release clause?
There was a clause. The thought is there's a clause in his new contract he signed last year that said it probably. I don't know if it was a release clause, but if somebody came in with £100 million bid, that he could go.
And the original question was, are we overpaying for Lukaku? And then we went to the Grealish deal.
Yeah.
But what we're pointing to is what a fair price is negotiated between the buyer and the seller. And then over time and in aggregate, you look at the whole market and you see where the trend is. And that's how you decide what a fair price is. And we can sit here and just say, 130 million pounds. I'll just real quick, just almost done. 100 million pounds. That's too much for Grealish. But if City decide it's worth it, and Aston Villa have agreed that that's a fair price, then it's a fair price. Same with Lukaku.
I think that's just where the market is now. That's just where it is. Like, you look at the Neymar deal, the Mbappe deal, the Hazard deal. Like, you look at some of these deals. That's just where the market is. Give it a year or two, and you will see so many more of these £100 million or euro deals. So many more. They'll just become commonplace. Because how much did Zidane go for back in the day? Like 50 mil.
Yeah.
And that was a massive fee at the time. And it's like now that's like your average fee for a half decent footballer.
Remember the Torres deal, 80 mil? We were like, holy crap.
Again, if you're trying to buy a team's best player, so Grealish, and they don't really want to sell that player, you're always going to overpay.
Yeah, and they don't need
It's
to
just
sell
what
it,
it is. Money talks and bullshit walks.
It's the same as the Rice thing. Like, it's just that we're not willing to pay that because Rice is nowhere near as good in his position as Grealish is in his position, if that makes sense. It's like one team's willing to pay that money because they want that player, whereas another team aren't willing to pay that money because they don't need that player.
So unless Kane goes to City, Lukaku will be the Premier League record, right, for transfers?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So
and then United fans can go back to telling us that we're ruining football.
Yeah.
Well, is Lukaku's money and in euros though? So that because what I read was in pounds, that was like 93 point something million.
Yeah, so
it's
it's 10 million pounds. Yeah,
it's 110 million pound.
Yeah, it's only like a 20 million difference from euros to pounds.
It's 85%. It's pounds are euros. Pounds are 85% of euros.
Euros 0.85 on the pound. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for his salary, so he's getting 10 million pounds, which someone said it was around 192k. But then he's got he could got 15 million.
That's the net, guys. So just so you know, that's the net. That's an after tax. That's how much he's getting.
He's getting 15 million euro, which is not pounds. 85%.
Including bonuses. Yeah.
That's including but the 3 million in add-ons.
Apparently, the fan fallout is a big reason for the delay to Lukaku to Chelsea. I know they've been protesting yesterday, but I haven't seen too much protest.
It was one couple signs.
One guy. He like crayons
putting a sign up.
I know fans have been very vocal about it on social media and everything, but in terms of protests, like, has that really been it?
Yeah.
That I've seen.
Yeah.
What I was going to say to you lot was like the Lukaku amount that I keep hearing is 110 million euros. That's the amount that I was going by. So that's apparently 93.5 million.
Right, it was 110.
Oh, is it 110 million euros or pounds?
Euros.
No. The third bid we put in was 110 million euro plus Marcus Alonso.
It's one man putting up a fucking one A4 piece of paper up on somewhere. It's nothing.
Yeah.
This report coming out is one of two things. Either it's negotiating through the media, or two, it's just a way for the board to save face. Okay, if they come out and say, we tried to get the Chinese owner, who's not Italian, not to sell Lukaku, then they can just blame somebody that's not from their country.
Yeah.
So they're free and clear.
I don't get how that works though. When when everything's been so out in the open. All the Inter fans
Right.
know the situation surrounding the club. It's not like they have anything that they can hide.
And they can blame that on the Chinese owner too. They can blame
They're trying to save
everything on
face.
him.
Yo, Lewis, check your DMs. Check your DMs.
So in terms of his salary, it's 15 million euros after bonuses, which is 12 million pounds.
Oh, are we talking about the net spend?
Yeah.
Yeah, our net spend's really good. I think we've got the
Bro,
third lowest net spend in the
difference.
top 6.
If you can put it up on the screen, bro, put it on the screen, please.
Some people say net
Yeah,
spend is bullshit.
I will say though, as well, we do have to take into account that we did have an entire year out from the transfer ban.
Yeah.
Terry did post an update, I think, because he's got sources. He's got a tier 1 source that says Chelsea want to complete Lukaku by the end of the week, so he's available to face Villarreal in the Super Cup next week. Of course, we heard that yesterday as well. This is from a tier 1 in England.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, of course we want it done by the Super Cup.
Yeah, definitely.
Right now, our team for the Super Cup looks so bare. We're doing another pre-season friendly behind closed doors just to get all the new players who've just come back up to scratch.
I wanted to say that, yesterday we looked shattered.
Did we?
Players were walking.
Yeah, just maybe the last
We didn't
40
look
minutes.
shattered. That was just a lone army.
Yeah.
They
The first half,
we looked.
The first half, we were very class. I thought
we were so
The
dominant.
first half was we missed the ball very well.
Bakayoko is like a malfunctioning robot.
And goal.
Big up Reggie saying Lukaku quotes in euros, Grealish in pounds. Appreciate that. CID Shadow as well saying my theory Lukaku deal is to make Raul sweat. So you think it's another smokescreen thing as well, but I just don't see us going back for Erling Haaland at this point. Like the season's about to start in the Bundesliga. They're not going to sell him if we go back.
I don't even know Raiola, and I can tell you now he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
No. Raiola defo cares. Like he's now only going to get 10% of all transfer fees.
He's going to care next year if he makes 7 million instead of 40.
That's
say
what
that.
we know, Lewis. Yeah.
I was say you say about he only gets this amount. How many people does he represent? He's going to get money anyway.
He represents a lot, but this is still his last year to fully fleece clubs.
33 million is a big loss. That's a big loss.
You also say that, but you don't know what clause Dortmund have in terms of when Haaland leaves, how much Raiola gets off that. Because I'm pretty sure I'm sure you're right, Lewis. Because I'm surprised he's willing to lose out on this much amount of money, which makes me certain that there's a clause in that Dortmund deal when Haaland eventually leaves, he gets a good cut of that. So he's not really bothered.
Unless for transfer fees, the 10% doesn't apply. Right?
He's not wrong, by the way. Artem's not wrong in that super chat.
Oh my gosh. 1 second, sorry. There's Barrett. Artem saying Tammy Abraham couldn't go to Atlanta. Joseph Martinez better. Josh, you can let me know about that one.
He's a good player.
Man also saying Bakayoko tax is heavier than Mark Henry. I'd say heavier than fucking Prime Viscera, bro. But I hear exactly what you're saying, bro. Bowie, I'm also saying with Erling Haaland rejection, can't help but feel we missed a hot one, and we now might be getting the slightly overweight friend. Don't tell me you have a Lukaku agenda too, man. Like Tammy, I could understand. We've been beaten into this Tammy agenda because he really is just at that level. He ain't good
Go
enough.
AM. I don't know if you know, but that slightly overweight friend probably a lot better in the sack than the pretty woman.
Come on, how do you not like? Have you got a Lukaku agenda as well, man? And if so, why?
Words to
Because
live by,
Lukaku's a baller at the very least.
Just put it this way:
I
Lukaku does not want to piss off.
I don't understand the Lukaku agenda.
Lukaku doesn't want to piss off Go AM.
Have you seen my picture? Does that look overweight to you? Come on, man. He's gonna bully people.
That's just thick, bro. That's just thick.
Look at that. Bully.
That's not how he looked when he was at
United. That's just raw muscle, bro.
That's Inter Milan, not United. Wow, man.
Yeah, Man United, they absolutely floored this guy, man. Indiana,
really
bro, you man ain't getting Haaland to United next summer, man. That's a pipe dream, bro. And if you do, you're going to get given worse wages than we did. It'll probably cost you like 400 million.
He'll go to be mediocre.
No, Lewis, you said that Bakayoko had a good performance yesterday. What are you talking about?
Did I? Did I?
No, you didn't.
I
You know
remember
what?
us having a completely different conversation in Chicken Cottage, my G.
But you know what? That formation looked good with the holder like 6. If it had been any other player, I think it would have worked because Bakayoko was just losing the ball in some dumb situations. But you could see how it was meant to happen.
Bakayoko was like good at standing tackles, and that
just
was
standing
it.
there.
Just standing tackles, stick a leg out, and that's it.
He gets a 1 for breathing.
No.
Yes,
1 out of 10 for breathing.
He didn't get injured.
Being alive.
A lot because Ruben had to partner with that man, and that's tough to.
Oh.
If Bakayoko is your midfield partner, it's going to be a struggle for you, Ruben.
Hey, Josh, I can't lie. Ever since the Atletico game away, he was like, oh my days.
No, but for anyone
He's
that
like a Titanic crumble. Titanic though.
For anyone that doubts what trauma can do to you, yesterday's performance was a pure example of it, bro. It was bad.
Yes.
It was so bad, man. They low. Like to the point that I even said to Lewis, like, yo, Danny Drinkwater should have come on, bro. Not him. It was
He wasn't even in the squad, I don't believe.
That's sort of how I feel about Michi. I think Michi should be getting Tammy's minutes in the preseason, to be honest with you.
See, I said this to Lewis. Lewis doesn't.
No, we're not running this back.
They're trying to sell Tammy, so you got to feature him so people
The
go,
shop
oh,
window.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
that's not helping us any, Chester. If anything, he's driving that price down.
Now that's a good point, Josh.
Same with Bakayoko. I thought we could get 15 for Bakayoko at one point. After yesterday, I'll take 2 to 3.
That
bad.
Big up
He was so slow, man.
Spending on training ground repairs after Lukaku's steel toes come crashing down. Bro, his touch ain't the same like it was back at Manchester United.
on,
That's
man.
just that overweight.
I think he just likes doing that.
It's just fun.
Go AM working on a new target.
You know what?
He does it on every.
Because Go AM's funny like that. I don't mind. I actually don't care.
Exactly.
I said another. Here we go for Jack Grealish.
Plus Erling Haaland. Cool, man. You want to see minerals? Look at that
Look at
wham
that
neck, bro. And also, that neck is responsible for the 6th most headed goals in Premier League history. So we already know that neck means business, my guy. So don't worry. Erling Haaland's also got that neck too, but he hasn't got the technique or the experience that Big Romy has. R9 is taking us to the top, man. You already know.
R9? Are we really going to call him R9?
Yeah, we are calling him R9. What's his first name? And it says on here, Romelu R9 Lukaku, man. You already know. Tammy
I thought there was only one R9.
Only 2 things.
There is Romelu.
Man.
Okay.
Erling Haaland has 8 side and hair on his side. That's about it, man. Over the top.
Have we still seen anything yet that Haaland is at Dortmund? Has Dortmund posted anything that Haaland's there for training or anything?
They stopped.
I got the
calling,
GPS.
They've done it to.
Oh yeah, I got a tracking chip on Haaland.
I got the GPS coordinates.
Yeah, no, but
I've seen the documents.
Dortmund know this is a story, and if he was there, they would be like, "The man is here. He's right here. Here he is. Haaland is here, boys. Don't worry." But they have a game in what 2 days? 2 days they have a game.
He still hasn't tweeted since the 30th of July.
Yeah,
Haaland hasn't.
He's waiting. He's waiting. We're going to announce it like
into Lukaku's iPhone as well. So as soon as he's in England, I'll let you
Yo,
guys
guys,
know.
I can't lie. You know, there's a lot of people that I think we're about to bolt this Lukaku deal.
They're all panicking, man.
I'm not trying to push a narrative. I'm just saying it's weird. It's
Oh, we have tier 1. We have a tier 1 that just spoke. Worldwide Chelsea. The news about Executive Zangs to do a U-turn on Lukaku sell are not true. Fabrizio will confirm it later.
I mean, Fabrizio has given us another here we go for Jack
Fan
Grealish.
TV
This
stream.
guy is like
Also, by the way, we're
100
streaming
million
at Chelsea
people
Fan
at
TV 10
yesterday.
p.m. Everyone hop on if you're around.
Yeah.
Also, as well, I was going to
For
say
who?
on Jack Grealish thing,
What?
he's completely
Chelsea
medical.
Fan TV 10 p.m. stream. Hop on if you guys are around.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
another
10
late
p.m.?
night one.
That's
10 p.m.
4
Well,
p.m.
That's
my
4
time?
for you, Jester.
Yep, 4 for me.
Let's do 7.
So
now.
can we? Did everybody see the Super Cup provisional roster release?
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna let you
No, not yet.
this one.
Because I said it. Did anybody see the tweet that came out? And this was supposedly the provisional roster. Do you know who's missing from that roster?
Tammy?
Huh? No, Tammy's there.
Did it show?
Yep.
Who is?
Oh my god.
Callum.
Yep.
Really? Wait, let me
He
see.
is not on the
Hudson
provisional
Odoi is
roster.
missing.
Yeah,
Yep.
Hudson-Odoi ain't on it.
Well, we already have our first 2 right wing backs back, so
yeah.
Do we need to carry a 3rd right wing back?
Traore.
What wingers are on there?
It's for the Super Cup. It's not not because he's under 21. That has nothing to do with crap. You submit a squad that will actually travel and be there.
Hey, Jester, is Pulisic on that?
Yes, he is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he is.
So was it Lazio who's linked to Hudson-Odoi?
Kovacic, Mount, Ziyech, Havertz, Abraham, and Werner. Even Tammy got a spot.
No, I am not wrong. This is a provisional roster. I said provisional. It has nothing to do with that he's under 21. There's only so many people that can travel and dress for the game. You do know that, right?
Wait, do under 21s need to be registered?
No.
Oh, they don't.
So you could have been traveling anyway.
Wait, Jester, a provisional roster for club level, is that kind of like, for internationals, you have a squad of 26, and then you have to shorten it down by 3?
Apparently, it's a 23-man squad. So there's also 2 more players that need to be added as well.
Not necessarily. If you just don't have the players, then you don't have.
Yeah, but we have Koundé maybe coming in. You might have Lukaku coming in. You don't know if Tammy's going out. All I'm saying is he's not on the roster. I didn't say that he wouldn't be added to the roster. I didn't say he wasn't going, but his name's not there.
Just a little bait. Just a little. Hey, you don't know. Draw a line. Yeah, exactly. It's like a beautiful mind out here.
Here's the stat. Lukaku has scored more goals and provided more assists than any other Chelsea player in the last 2 seasons.
You know what he hasn't done though?
He's all of the players in our squad in every season since joining us in 2012, except for 2.
But you know what he hasn't done, and that's score a goal at Stamford Bridge in 13 games.
There you go, but he'll do that year.
Yeah.
Well, there is no Cho agenda. I like messing with you people because you're so adamant that he's the next best thing. I'm telling you, he's not on the roster, and I'm telling you, he's 3rd choice wing back and 4th choice forward. So,
would anybody in the panel be shocked if Callum went on loan this year?
Nope.
He should.
No, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yes.
The best thing for him is
on loan. No, because a loan deal, I said it should have happened in 2020 or 2019. That's when I thought would have been best for him.
Yeah.
Now, I still would be for it because he'd still get more time at another club than he would for Chelsea. But I still feel like it's just a few years too late. I would have rather that happened in 1920. That would have been the best opportunity for it. But I also understand why with the transfer ban.
I think Callum going on loan now doesn't make sense because we don't have. It would have made sense if we bought a wing back, but because we don't, it doesn't make sense him going unless
it still happens.
Going to be used.
We have 2.
Who?
Aspie and Reece James.
And potentially Koundé. Potentially Koundé.
I actually mean for depth. Koundé, okay, fair enough.
Potentially. He could play that potentially.
Or
we want attacking one.
And the news came out yesterday, Christian Pulisic. That's what Tuchel said. So we do have the depth there. I'm not saying that he's going to be loaned out, but I will share with you the advice that Monstar would have given Cho. He would have told Cho that he needs to go on loan or leave Chelsea.
Yeah.
This is a former semi-pro football player or pro football player giving advice to another pro football player.
Oh, Callum definitely should have been on loan in the past 2 years that he's been at the club, but because he signed that ridiculous contract, no club wants to pay those fees. And we'd have to probably pay at least half his wage. Exactly. Yeah. And we know what Chelsea are like when we send players on loan. We recuperate a lot of loan wages and stuff like that. So it's like, if teams don't want to do that, then he's just stuck here with us. And again, people complain about his game time. I personally don't have a problem with it. He's young. I personally don't expect him to play all the time, regardless of what his talent is supposed to be.
Right, but he's going to get a run at right wing back against certain teams, and it's just not going to be enough, I don't think, for him to develop in the way that we would like to see him develop. So it would have been ideal. In
the way you like to see him develop. For me personally, it's enough. I've seen I've seen English youngsters just automatically thrown in, and they're burnt out by the age of 30.
No, I agree. But that's why he should.
I've seen that happen to the best English youngster I've ever seen, Wayne Rooney, and by the time he was 32, he was washed and finished. Like, so what's wrong with taking your time? Phil Foden, he's only been part of he's only now starting in the City team, and he's been part of that squad since Pep's been there. So,
I'm not sure we could even guarantee him a game a week at this point, to be honest with you.
Okay, but why does he have to start every week? If he's coming off the bench, or
he doesn't need to.
Learning and training, why does he have to?
But the way that you typically move up in organizations is, like, one of the best things is to leave and then come back with a heightened profile. And so if he left Chelsea, even if it were on a loan deal, and, you know, maybe he wasn't playing all the time at first, but he was having the great experience of being off on his own in a new squad with a bunch of grown men, you know, learning his way around a new group. It would mature him. It would be, you know, good on a personal level, not just a footballing level. So, you know, that's why I think, because a lot of it is mental. You know, he has the ability. He just needs to refine it. And that's where, like, I think a loan helps.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I agree with that to an extent, but there's also nothing wrong with staying in the squad and learning, being coached by a world-class manager.
Yeah, that's good too. I think they help in different ways. But if I'm putting my Callum hat on here, right? Like, I'm a Chelsea fan, so I don't really give two craps, honestly. Like, I want what's best for the team. But if I'm putting my Callum hat on, I'm thinking, okay, I need to heighten my profile in the eyes of the club and in the coach, because currently I'm like fourth string. So how do I do that? Well, the best way is not to, like, just be tearing it up in training. Believe it or not, that only gets you so far. But to go to a different team, absolutely kill it, like someone like Romelu Lukaku, or who are the other players? All the players, Salah, all the players who have left, come good, and then we're like, man, why do we let them go? Well, we let them go because they didn't have the mentality at the time, and they became those players later.
All the players that have left and come good, like Gael Kakuta and them, man.
De Bruyne, Lukaku, Salah.
De Bruyne, Lukaku, Salah are not from our academy. That's for one. For two, those are the players who wanted to leave. It's not as if that the club wanted to sell them or the managers wanted to sell them. They wanted to leave because they weren't good enough to force their way into it. But they weren't good enough to force their way in.
They weren't good enough. The only player I'm annoyed we sold, the only player I'm annoyed we ever sold that we should have kept on to is De Bruyne. Lukaku wasn't good enough at the time, and Salah was dog shit.
Yeah, he was. I know, I agree.
De Bruyne wasn't good enough either to start in his position.
Not at the time.
Whenever De Bruyne played, he played like right wing, and he didn't want to play out there. He wasn't good enough to start as a 10 because we had Juan Mata at the time. So
and we were playing 2-6s. Yeah, and he didn't. It was under Mourinho, and we were playing a formation that just did not suit him.
But as a youngster, just bide your time and be paid. Like, again, the past few years, Foden's been in that City team. The Euros was meant to be last summer. The start of last season, I was hearing English pundits and other rival fans say Foden should just leave, go out on loan to Crystal Palace, get game experience because you're so talented and you're going to help us in the Euros and everything. The following season, he's a crucial part of City's team. Like, just relax and bide your time. You never know what could happen. Marcus Rashford at Man United, he's biding his time on the bench. A few injuries come about and he takes his chance. Just take your chance when it comes, and you never know what could happen.
Do you think De Bruyne made the wrong decision?
Just before you go, declared saying, "Are we signing someone like Conte to slap the food out of Lukaku's hands to keep in shape?" Nah, bro, we got Thomas Tuchel, man. He's there to give him the right food, man. Chelsea's academy is going to treat him nice. Don't you worry, bro. Artem as well also saying Cho was beating his man versus Tottenham. Final ball was a bit iffy. Cho played the first half against Spurs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to recall. I don't really remember much from his performance in that game. I can't lie, but I feel like the end product wasn't really there. But it's what it is. Yeah, he didn't have a bad game.
But he just had no end product.
What was your question?
Oh, sorry. So I was. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
I was just going to ask if. Go ahead, Justin.
So who on the panel said that they were going to lay the blame at Lukaku's feet for leaving? Somebody on the panel said they were going to...
I don't think anybody said that, did they?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember who it was, but they've actually come out with a report now that the decision is now up to Lukaku whether he wants to leave Inter or not. So they moved on from blaming the owner. Now they're going to drop the blame on Lukaku. So somebody in chat said that, or somebody on the panel said that. They're not here anymore, maybe. But it's actually happening now. They've shifted from blaming the owner to blaming Lukaku, neither of which are Italian. I just want to let you know. They're trying to shift the blame. The board is trying to shift the blame big time. When they're complicit. When they're actually complicit.
Can I ask the panel do you guys think Tuchel will, and because he mentioned him after the game, as I mentioned, do you think he will keep Andrin with the squad this year? And if he does keep Andrin, would you keep Andrin and Callum both on the squad to not really play? Or would you send one of the two on loan?
Probably. I think on loan.
Yeah. I think Andrin is going on loan.
Is he? Okay. I only said because Tuchel mentioned him after the game, saying how much he enjoys watching him and how bright he is, and how much he finishes in training and things like that. And he just wished he could have played maybe against the first two preseason games, because he thinks maybe he would have been able to show a little bit more having that extra game time. But I think if one goes on loan, one stays. I'm not sure how that would work with the two of them, but
one needs to go. I think. I mean, it would be Andrew. I would expect it to be Andrew, but
yeah.
Here we go. Dan McCarthy was just assured that Chelsea are still confident a deal will be done and are continuing to push to a deal to be completed as soon as possible, despite rumors in the Italian media. So,
big up Phantom of Many Topics saying Texas guy gives the best football analysis. Big up yourself, Jester, as always, my G. New bid accepted by Inter, or is that just a spam? I feel like that's just a spam.
Chelsea
How's everyone doing tonight? Good morning.
Tonight?
Sorry. It's tonight for me, sorry.
What time is it over there?
1 in the morning.
Oh, fucking hell. Mad.
What time?
1 in the morning.
Yeah. Outside of the world. It's Friday already. I'll tell you what happens. I get the news. I get the transfer news earlier than you guys. So.
Have we signed Lukaku yet?
James Robson has also tweeted on this.
Hey, Josh, when are they? Hey, who's giving these Lukaku tickets out? I was almost going to buy one until you guys said there's a bit of doubt.
Bro, we've got plenty for sale, man. Do you want a ticket? They're free as well.
2 for 1.
Are they free?
Yeah, they're free tickets, man. The Lukaku Hive is open for business.
I mean,
for you declared, it'll be £5.
It closes very soon, though.
That hits me conversion rate.
You go until the first game he plays for in Chelsea colours. Even the transfer when he goes through, there's still time to join.
So we sign him. He plays for the Super Cup. We get a penalty, and whether he scores or misses that penalty is when I buy my ticket. Is that what you're saying? When I buy my shirt? Is that the decider? Redemption story?
Might be a bit late by his first goal. We want to get this done by his first game, because we need all the ultras ready and everything, so you can say you were there from the start.
Yeah.
I was saying with the Haaland news, I want a Haaland train ticket, but late once he signs, then I'll join.
Like I've been saying all summer, on Haaland, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think everyone's been like that. Everyone Haaland first choice. Lukaku. I think majority.
No, but Haaland was never my first choice anyway. So that's fine.
Prime, you
what do you mean? Come on, I didn't want him as a first choice.
Oh,
yes, Josh.
You texted me yesterday. Kane's better than Lukaku and Haaland.
Kane is better than Lukaku and Haaland.
Yeah,
I mean, he's not lying.
No debatable. That's not.
No. It's not debatable. He's a better all-round striker and footballer than that.
No comment.
And in my personal opinion, I think he suits us more. However, us getting Lukaku, I'm also very happy about. It's Haaland that I didn't want, and he was my third choice.
It's really not the worst of takes. I won't lie to you.
I take any of them.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
All three are in the same category of striker.
There's not even worth arguing.
All top notch.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what's crazy? That Lukaku cost the most. If Haaland goes for 75, I feel like Kane's not going to go for 130 or plus because he's actually pushing for the move, and in some desperation he could just go for something like 100 mil. And so then Lukaku, sorry.
I said Levy's a prick. He ain't selling him for less than what he wants. He has a number in mind. If you don't come for that, Kane's just going to be unhappy.
If I'm Kane, do what Courtois did, do what Costa did. Be as toxic as possible.
I mean, he goes that far.
People can say, and I get it from a fan's point of view, you don't like that, but however, I can put myself in the heads of players, and I understand why they do that. You want to get your move for whatever reason it is. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's just because you want to go win trophies. Yada yada. Maybe you just don't want to be at the current club. Exactly. It's your life. Do what you got to do.
It's a little harsh to say Costa was toxic. They told him not to show up. They don't want him.
Oh, no. Again, I know. I understand the whole Costa thing as well. That's why I'm saying the Costa thing. I understand that. That's why I'm saying do whatever it is that you got to do. Don't turn up to training.
If Lukaku doesn't turn up anyway, Tuchel will pop up with Harry Kane like this, so we'll be fine.
Real cheese will remember against the lesser sides, and people say Lukaku won't score against big teams. I mean, Ziyech already pops up for us anyway, so we don't have that problem. It's fine.
So we got Mason Mount for, you know.
Lukaku scores against the lower sides. Like his biggest question mark is will he score against the big teams. So all I'm hearing is this is a guy who can break down low blocks.
Hey, let's be honest, Chelsea's problem is against the lower teams. Let's be fair. We lost twice to West Brom last year.
If Lukaku is getting 20 or 25 goals in the league, and none of them are against the big six, but we still win the league anyway, does that really matter?
No,
I couldn't give a fuck.
You gotta win them all.
That's the classic Mourinho. That's the classic Mourinho path to the title: is you beat the bad teams, you draw with the good teams, and you can win the league.
Exactly.
Well, if this preseason's any indication,
rivals will have a problem and use that to banter Lukaku. But who cares what they think?
Well, if this preseason's anything to go,
sorry, bro. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say if this preseason's anything to go off of, we played 2 mid-table teams, battered them pretty good. I feel like we're gonna do well. Like these are the teams we used to struggle against, but like the Arsenals of this world. But now we got them on lock, and I feel like with a clinical finisher, and you look at how Havertz is taking his chances. Like, I don't know. I'm just not nearly as worried about our goal scoring next year. I would love to just see us get someone like Tukamini in, someone who fits that profile. Because when we went 4 in the back the other day, I know we had like completely different players on the field, but you can see how it's going to work. There was parts of it that were bad.
No, I want to lose to Arsenal twice next season as well. Yeah. If it means we're winning the Champions League, let's do it.
Yeah,
with your tag promo, I was going to say that I agree with that, and I'm happy about it too. My only issue is that we're paying like 130, and it's probably a record breaking for a single number 9 if you don't count like Mbappe and right. You want a striker that actually does more than just scores against lower teams. I know it's good for us. We could say that about Danny Ings. We could say about the Kiwi Ibrahimovic. Chris Wood, like he could probably do that. We make so many chances that we'll make any striker look good. So we're paying top dollar. I'm expecting. I had the same expectation from Haaland. Yeah, you can do more than just score the simple goals.
You know what? I agree with that, which is why I want Kane, because he gives you more than just goals. He will break the record assists. Haaland, we're going to spend 160 on him just for him to leave in 3 years.
But
the thing with Haaland was that he's going to become that. We're hoping that he becomes more than that player,
but not for us.
Or whoever. Like if we got Haaland, that we would hope that he becomes like that, because he's no one's been like him. He's breaking so many youth records that the potential that this guy has, he could surpass Kane and even Lewandowski maybe. That's what you're buying into, really. And that's
what 13 assists last year.
Yeah.
Lukaku, let's not act like he's only going to bring us goals, because with Inter Milan he was linking up with Martinez, so his link up play is better.
Bro, Martinez did everything, man. I love Martinez.
That's not fair to say, though. That's not fair to say. They were both great.
It was a good partnership.
Better for Inter than Martinez was.
Give me a sec, guys. Dinishan saying how many goals will Lukaku get against Palace? 6. Arton
25.
Yeah, anything between 3 and 30 we'll go for. Artem also saying it's funny because if we got Kane, these fans wouldn't care about resale value, even though he's the same age and would cost more. I've been saying resale value don't mean shit. It doesn't mean a thing, man. We're gonna make money regardless. We just need a striker to help us win the trophies that will get us that revenue anyway.
Not every player needs to have resale value.
Bro, did we spend 30 million on Willian just because to make money on him? No, because we then lost him for free. Like, who cares?
But we got his value. We got the value out of it.
Exactly.
The only time this
That's
argument
the point.
And also,
we totally did.
And also, with how young our team is, especially our attack, buying a 27, 28 year old striker in their prime, a striker who is one of the best on the planet, so Kane or Lukaku, that is worth spending 100 mil for.
Exactly.
Because we can't get Lewandowski, we can't get Benzema or whoever, and I'm not spending anywhere close to that money on someone like Isaac or Valulovic.
Yeah,
well, it's an investment, right?
Only for Haaland. This argument only comes in for Haaland. Is that Haaland does have resale value and Lukaku doesn't. It doesn't come into play any other situation.
Exactly.
It's just that was the truth of it.
Well, the resale value.
The only reason it comes into the Haaland thing. The only reason it comes into the Haaland thing is because people know he's not going to stay at us. That's the only reason. If it was a case of if we had the same pulling power and we had the same like mystique around us as like a Real Madrid, no one would give a shit about resale value because no one will want to leave us.
Well, it's about realizing the value in either sell-on or in the goals and like return that we see on the pitch. So like if we buy Haaland, that's like an investment in the potential like dividend on that is super high, right? And then we sell it on and we recoup some of that value in the resale as well. But with Lukaku, if we keep him for the rest of his meaningful career and he scores with us like we've seen him score in other situations, we're going to realize the value of that 130 mil across those 4 or 5 years. And we don't even need to work. What are we recouping? Why are we trying to squeeze more water out of a stone that's given us everything? So like, no, it's fine. Just let him go to like whatever retirement league he wants to at that point.
What you said about Haaland though, that's my point, is like people going, oh yeah, we could sell him for this later on. No one would be thinking that if we didn't know he was going to leave us. If there was no worry he was going to leave us, no one would care about what we could sell him later on because we'd want him to stay here for 10, 15 years.
And actually, we would be underpaying on his value at that point because 150 million would be far too little to pay for Haaland's entire career. We would be looking at like $1 billion, something not really, but like somewhere in that range, because if you kept Haaland through his prime years, based on what we've seen now, you're just already nailed on one of the top teams.
Exactly. Like with Havertz, and if he has a dream to play for Real Madrid, like I don't know, I don't really see him staying for his whole career. Someone like Hazard, I know he loved our club, but in reality, if he actually cared about legacy and winning a Ballon d'Or, he should have left us like ages ago.
Yeah,
just be part of
we should have surrounded him with better players.
No, again, I agree with that. I agree with that as well. But again, in terms of legacy building, go to Real Madrid when they're at their peak. He should have done that, and he didn't because he cared about Chelsea, and also he didn't necessarily care about being this legacy player. Like Hazard's not selfish. So
let me ask you this: who is Chelsea's GOAT? Or is it fair to say Lampard is Chelsea's GOAT?
Yeah,
Drogba.
It's either Lampard or Drogba for me. Like it's one of the two.
Hazard, man.
So if you're Kai Havertz, and in your first year, you've already won the Champions League and actually scored the winning goal in the Champions League, where does that put you on the GOAT list?
Potential-wise, you mean?
As of right now, you've won the Champions League and scored the winning goal.
Am I wrong?
Right above Raul Morales.
Yeah, but just it's measured over time.
He'll end up being one of our...
Not a moment,
He'll end up being alongside one of the goals. Well, potentially, yeah.
Lampard's, Drogba, Hazard, Zola, Terry for me.
Yeah, he'll be in the top.
Oh, yeah.
I would move Terry.
That all depends on which one you prefer.
Yeah, I rate legends on the trophies they win because the aim of playing this game is to win, not to have great stats, not to do funny moves, not to look brilliant on the field. It's to win trophies. And what I'm saying is Kai Havertz already has a Champions League trophy already.
It's a collection of moments, True Jester. You just suggested one. If he adds way more to them, he's going to become a legend at Chelsea.
That's what I was getting to. Is that Havertz could, if he stayed for 7-8 years, could end up Chelsea's GOAT.
Yeah.
We put Hazard above Terry off the pitch issues.
But then again, it depends on. It also depends on like what generation you're part of, and in nostalgia. Because I don't remember Zola, and I know he is a Chelsea legend, but I don't put him in my top 5. I put him in top 10 just because of I know what he's done, but I haven't seen him. Which is again fair to say. There are Chelsea players who haven't seen really Hasselbank, or they've barely seen much of like peak John Terry. So they wouldn't put him in there. And plus the racial issues with Terry as well.
Yeah, exactly. No one's slandering John Terry, but there are reasons why he's a lot lower in the list than he should be. It is what it is. Don't bitch about it. Just accept it.
So did any of those players ever win the Super Cup?
No.
No, we've never won it, I don't think.
We've won it once.
Don't make this argument.
So Havertz is now possibly going to win the Super Cup year 2.
It's like the Community Shield.
We've been in 3 Super Cups and lost them.
We won 1.
Oh, for fuck's. No, but I mean.
Apparently.
No, I mean like in terms of what I've seen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's annoying.
So Super Cups, really, man.
So he could win that, which none of those others could. If we bring in Lukaku or any striker that's a top 5 striker, we're slated to at least challenge for the Premier League. We're going to be up there in UCL again. You're talking that the next 3 to 4 years we could go on a trophy run. Will eclipse Man City's trophy run because we'll do it in Europe where they can't because they have the pep tax.
Inject that shit straight into my veins, man. I want that.
We gotta start taking the league off him, man. They're gonna accumulate a lot of titles.
Yeah. Again, I don't think Grealish makes them any better. I don't.
I mean, am I the only one that thinks he's gonna struggle?
No, it's not.
It's confusing.
No, it's not about Grealish struggling. They can buy Grealish and win the league again. That doesn't mean anything. They can win a double or a treble. It doesn't mean anything. We've seen them do it.
Now.
They need to win the Champions League with it, which Grealish is not. Grealish is not on that level. From what I see of Grealish at Aston Villa, like he is good. Like he's very good. He's not in that world class bracket of a difference maker like Neymar or Hazard or anything. Like I saw him in the Euros in the final, come off the bench, and he did nothing against that Italy team. And that Italy team is so well drilled and organized. I wouldn't say they're all necessarily world-class players, but they're so well drilled and organized, and he couldn't weave any moment of magic in there. And people want to make excuses and say Southgate and the way he plays and everything. You don't blame Southgate because Southgate had a perfect organized plan, and Grealish was supposed to come on and make that impact, and he couldn't do anything. So
I'm not the biggest fan of Grealish. Like I said, I don't like players that go down with the slightest touch, and he's going to have problems this year if they're really not going to call those fouls anymore. They really go, we're not going to call them anymore. Where you get touched and you fall over like you've been shot, or you hold your face when somebody hits you in the shoulder and you get them red carded. I don't like stuff like that. Well, that's really a dude that I would want to just take in the back alley and beat the shit out of.
But it's a talent. I mean, it's a talent drawing the ball. Like he protects the ball with his body, and he's not the quickest, so he has to. I mean, he's quick, but he's not the fastest top speed. So like he has to use. Yeah, exactly. He's always protecting the ball. It's actually like, and when he gets fouled, he does go down, but they don't call. It's on the referees, man.
Yeah, but
because if they called those fouls, he wouldn't have to go down.
Yeah, but it's the same as what Zaha does for Palace, where he's dribbling past players and he gets fouled. You can do that at a lesser side, but once you're at a top team, like, do you think people are going to be fouling Grealish and De Bruyne and Mahrez stupidly. Like, no. Like, I know Hazard got fouled a lot, but even still, he didn't always go down. Like,
no, but
you can't get away with
the
it.
thing is with that, though, is if they don't foul him, he'll just run through them, or he'll drag players out of position, because that's what players like him and Hazard and Sancho and Zaha and others do. They'll drag players out of position and create space for other players. And the one team in the Premier League, bar us, you don't want to do that for is City, because of the number of players they've got that can hurt you. Like, I think with the Champions League thing, I think he'll help in the sense of he'll improve them. But their problem with the Champions League has never been their team or their players. It's always been down to
Pep.
It's a mentality thing, and it's Pep overthinking. In the final, it was Pep overthinking against Tottenham. Pep overthinking against Monaco, against Lyon. All of these times, it's Pep overthinking, or them trying something stupid, or the mentality. So that's what it's going to be. It's not going to be unless they get in like Ronaldo as their striker. It's not going to change things.
True.
Again, do you think it's a PR signing?
Which is why I'm saying that this move, to me, won't impress me unless they win the Champions League.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, Scotty, I thought that he overthought it because it was Chelsea. That if it was another team, that I think City would have done a lot better.
No, I think I don't.
We beat him 3 times.
He overthought it because he's Pep.
Well, twice before. And if it was a once-off matchup, that he might have approached it a lot better.
He's egocentric, and
or maybe not
to
need
be
to
about him.
overthink. I don't know.
Pep has a mentality issue when it comes to like this whole thing of he hasn't won it without Messi. It's for him anyway. It's genuinely. It seems to be genuinely a problem. We've seen in the past few years at City bottling it or messing up in stages where he should easily have beaten those teams. At Bayern Munich, I see him go up against, fair enough, it was a Barca team with MSN, but he played them by trying to man-mark every player, and they got battered on 2 legs. Like, doing stupid little things like that, instead of just playing the way you play and winning that way. Like,
it's narcissism, man. It's narcissism because he's trying to... No, because he's trying to implant his own personal touch on each of these like final wins, so that by doing something out of the box, so that everyone's like, "Oh, wow, Pep really won them that game." It can't be that they went in the normal way, and it's about the players.
Wouldn't we get that praise anyway if they dominated a game and won?
But the thing is, Pep's not like Mourinho who can do that. Who will completely switch it up just for one game and it'll pay off. Pep's not that sort of person.
No, he's not. Mourinho empowered his players. Pep controls them.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's because Pep has such a set way he likes to play. Trying to alter that just doesn't work because you ingrain in your players so much what he wants, which is a fantastic way of playing. Like, I'll never fault the way he wants to play, but it was the Lyon game where like you spend the whole season playing this one particular way against every team, and if for some reason you try and change the formation, switch things up, and it's like, why? Literally play the way you're normally playing, you'd smash them. It's like
because winning isn't the most important thing to him.
I remember that.
I think with Mourinho has so much, like, he won't ingrain a certain way of playing into his players. He'll show so many different ways to play, or at least in his prime he would. Like, nowadays I think it's just he's past it a bit, but he would ingrain in his players like so many different ways to play that he could alter it at times. He would instill a belief in players, like you mentioned with like Eto'o, where he would play him left wing and he wouldn't do that with anyone else, or with like, who was it he got to man-mark Messi with Inter Milan? Was it Maicon or someone else where he just got them to man-mark Messi? He did nothing else but got them to man-mark Messi.
Well, he played Henry pretty wide too.
You're describing technically what's happening, Scott, but you're not describing why these things occur, right? Which I'm saying is down to personal foibles. I mean, like, Mourinho, the most important thing for Mourinho is winning. The most important thing to Pep is Pep.
All right, Lewis, check the comment section, fam.
Yeah.
Give me a sec. Artem saying, remember when Falcao embarrassed us by himself? Don't want to remember that because he never did that or came near to it in a Chelsea shirt. But that was Super Cup 2012. I remember that. He just bullied us. First half, we were finished. Omar as well saying, rest in peace to Emilio Ballack. Michael Ballack's son, of course. All condolences to Michael Ballack and his family, man. That's horrendous news that we heard this morning. It's just, the world is shit and everything.
Stop it, man. Stop it, champ.
Shit like this happens all the time, but rest in peace anyway, and all due condolences as well. And Jem, I know what you're on about, bro. You are smaller than me. Unless you're talking about yourself, I don't know who you're calling a midget, bro.
Jem, you're
I'm
literally
cool with it. What was that?
I was gonna say Jem's literally a 4'2" Smurf, but we move.
Yeah, Jem, don't make me send everyone to GNA to watch some of your football videos because that would be a pure exposed sesh, bro.
No, don't. No, Jem's got tech. Let's not.
Man, coming like Hornswoggle and you trying to chat shit to me, man. Disrespect. Can't be arsed, bro. I big up yourself anyway, man. Bro, I'm only 5'10". It's not even that deep, man. Like, if I was like 5 foot, I get.
Can we have a Lewis and Jem undercard?
Yeah, Jem, if you pop up for a fan cam one day, and then we can prove this for sure.
True.
Glenn said he was 6'5", and he is 6'5". He is fucking massive. I'll give him credit for that.
Who?
Slens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Slens. Massive. Oh, looking up at him like this.
Slens is 6'5" with a beard, man.
Stop lying to yourself,
Slens' goals, he's 6'5" with a beard.
Jem, the only reason why you're 5'10" is because you grow your hair up that much. That's the only reason why.
You can add 4
I ain't trying to
inches
hear
of hair.
that, bro.
Hey, man got a haircut, lost 4 inches.
Oh my god.
Hate it when that happens.
Oh, by the way, by signing Grealish and Kane, Pep spent
I'm here for it, dog.
$1 billion since he's been there.
Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. But Man United, since Fergie's left, I think they spent 1.5, something like that.
Jesus fucking
Christ. Yeah.
We're the ones buying.
But Chelsea are ruining football, Chelsea are ruining football.
The meme.
I mean, we have.
I don't know how much Arsenal have spent, but I know it in terms of wages.
Oh
no! 220. Aubameyang's on 375 with installments and stuff like that. They're spending a lot on Pepe and Lacazette. Ozil, I know he left, but they spent a lot on Ozil and stuff. So these clubs,
they got Amazon money, bro.
Don't just think it's all money. These clubs spend a lot on wages and stuff.
Yeah, but these aren't serious clubs, man, so they don't banter them. They banter us because they're worried.
But that's
Chris saying you lot roast Lewis on his height. I'm 5'4". You see, this is the thing, man. You can't just keep making all these small jokes, or people who are actually shorter than I am are going to be getting offended by it. We can't be doing this, man. We're an inclusive channel. We're inclusive to everybody. People of all race, all gender, all sexual orientation, all ages, all heights, everything, man. We welcome everybody.
Guarantee this.
As long as you're not a gooner. We don't welcome gooners.
I can guarantee this. Jem is a 30-year-old midget. She is 30-year-old midget.
We coming out here with sources, man. It's peak. If you're doing a Premier League video, bro, I'll be there to see it.
So apparently, Bakayoko Napoli is still alive. They're waiting until the last days of the transfer.
What?
Give it a CPR, man.
They not watched the game yesterday, then?
They're waiting until the last days of the transfer market to close, so they get a cheap deal on him.
Maybe they're watching the replay. Just give them 1 day to watch the replay, and then maybe they might change their mind.
Yeah, but he's played for him before, so they know what he's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was.
They didn't want to sign him then too.
So
oh wow.
What about Cho to Lazio?
I haven't heard that one.
Lazio, I haven't heard that one.
Hey, Lazio play a good brand. Oh, not anymore. They lost Inzaghi. They did play all right.
Yeah, Sky Italia is reporting that they're holding Napoli want to come in the final days of the transfer market to get Bakayoko on a cheap, which is fine with me. I'd sell him for a bag of chips and some smokes.
I'd drive him to the airport wherever he wants to go.
We're taking an L on that one anyway.
Anyone
so
you can take it at this point.
Yeah, just get some money and go.
So yeah, that's that. It looks like Madison's going to stay at Leicester City.
Oh, what a shame!
You think that's them focusing on Martinez?
They can't. I think they're looking for Facebook TV for that Amazon show.
I think they'll get Harry Houston. He's only 25 million. euros.
If they can't afford 70 mil for Maddison, there's no way they're affording Martinez.
They can't afford 40 for Tammy.
How much is he valued at?
Go to Arsenal.
What, Martinez?
Martinez, yeah.
Like 100 mil at least.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
dude, we can't hear you down there, Abdullah. We can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
Really low.
Yeah, you sound like Lewis's type, man. Speak up.
I'm using my phone. I'm using my phone.
Oh, mate.
Okay, yeah,
Your phone on
we're having a hard time hearing
It's
you.
your phone on the floor.
This is the because Hazard is. I feel like he was the type of player that you need to give him the ball for him to be the best. And I always thought that, for personally, I think I put him higher than Neymar due to the fact of who he played with in terms of only Morata or Willian, these bang average players. But then when Neymar played with Messi, Suarez, Xavi, Iniesta, all those players, do you think Hazard would have struggled in a team like that Barcelona due to the fact because he needed the ball, and then Messi wouldn't have got it the most, and like he wouldn't have got all the ball, is what I'm trying to say. And do you think he would have struggled with that?
No, because like when Neymar went to Barcelona, he was young. When Hazard came to us, remember we still had Mata, who was the source creator of all our chances, and Hazard was still able to play with him. So, and I'm not comparing Mata to Messi, obviously, but I think in terms of being that young age, Hazard wouldn't have a problem with that. I think the only difference would have been Hazard wouldn't have left like Neymar left.
Juan wasn't really a ball carrier in the same way, but I get the question, but like I think in that team, man, there's enough chances for both of them. It's not like Messi needs every single opportunity. Like he would have really thrived there, and I remember because they were like similar ages, right? Yeah, he would have. I think he would have done way better than Neymar.
And plus, Hazard's a lot more selfless.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to bounce. I haven't eaten breakfast yet this morning.
Oh,
what time is it?
Get out of here, man.
Yeah, you and me both.
Let's
That'll be good. We'll see you again tomorrow, maybe. Unless you have Shameless FC tomorrow. Bruce?
Should be Friday 6 p.m. I think should be, yeah. Although
doing
no, I won't be able to stream in the afternoon. I'm out. I hope nothing happens to the Lukaku deal, otherwise things are going to get techie. But hey, we'll roll with the punches as always.
All right, bro.
Jester, safe for jumping on, man.
You're welcome. As always, thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for jumping on, man. But you take care, bro. Bless.
All right.
What was it? So Napoli holding out to the final days of the transfer market to try and get Bakayoko in a cheap deal. So they're doing what I was saying we should have done with Tammy Abraham. I don't really whatever price that they can get him from. I feel like his price tag would have gone down just based off the friendly alone. But if Marina can get anything above 50 million for him, then everyone who's Marina out owes her a massive apology, even if they already owe that.
I just saw Willock is going to go for 25 million. So if he's going for 25 million, Willock is going to go for 25 million. So we need at least 40. And maybe you can cost
for Tammy.
We need at least 50.
Yeah.
How old is Willock?
And
younger.
Everyone's saying Fabrizio's.
Willock's 21, by the way. Willock's 21.
Willock's 21.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Tammy is only 23, 24. That's still very young.
And he's more proven.
And he had a good season at Newcastle.
As everyone's spamming saying Lukaku's been confirmed.
I mean, he literally hasn't.
He hasn't been confirmed. They're
trolling, bro.
They're trolling, bro.
His last tweet is about Leicester and James Maddison.
Yeah. I think it's because Lukaku deal is getting close. That's why they're saying it's basically confirmed.
Yeah.
Fabrizio's tweeted like 5 hours ago. Chelsea are now pushing for Romelu Lukaku to complete this as soon as possible. Lukaku open to accept 12 million net. If Inter, Chelsea will agree on fee and details. New official bid, Chelsea bid coming soon. Fee expected to be more than 110 million euros.
Beautiful.
Fabrizio should say the untouchable is now closer to Chelsea.
Lewis, I just saw what you posted on Instagram. Of course,
this
you
deal's
have a picture
untouchable.
of Christensen.
The untouchable deal is now touched.
Officially touched. Yeah.
I'll give you props for that.
So, is there 110 million euros for Lukaku?
That's what it sounds like.
I think it's more, isn't it? Or am I getting euros and pounds mixed up?
So if it's 110 million
Maybe
euros,
I'm getting,
that's 93 million
maybe it's
pounds.
pounds. I think it is pounds.
110 was the number that got rejected. Yeah.
And then it did. And then we went back 120 euro, well, 130 euros, right? Which is the 110 pounds, I think. I'm not good with the currency always.
Why did they want Alonso? I thought they were interested in Alonso.
Oh,
think they know he's washed up.
Speaking of Alonso, how long has he been here? 5 years?
Too fucking long.
No, I'm just saying. Like, I want him to stay. Like the guy's close to a testimonial. I want him to stay.
He is.
Testimonial.
I like Alonso. They must have inquired about him.
Oh, he's one. If he wins this, sorry, you continue. Sorry.
Yeah, I said they valued him, and now they don't want him. You know what I mean? Just want cash.
Meaning Inter. Yeah. But we should value him. I think is what Prime's saying, because he's won like every trophy imaginable at Chelsea.
He should stay. He's a different player that we don't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just throw him on the final couple minutes if we're having trouble against a team. He's almost like a second striker or a third striker. You know.
Bro, I wanted to play. If I saw him striker, like I've been calling for him, just put him up front one stupid game. I wanted to see it.
Alonso's he's. I mean, whether you guys like it or not, he's a Chelsea legend. He's won everything.
Legend's a bit of a thing word, but yeah, he's close to it.
Within the tiers of legend.
How many finals did it take Lampard to win a CL?
Tier 3 legend.
It took Lampard 2 finals. Took Alonso 1. I'm just saying.
But the narratives are different.
If we give him legend, then we're going to give a lot of players legendary status, and when you start giving him out, it doesn't hold value no more.
You would start this Marcus Alonso, would you?
Respect Alonso.
You would start 100%. Prime, you the type of person would start Marcus Alonso high.
No, I don't. I don't do highs, but I respect players that play for Chelsea.
He's got a point, but yeah, he's won everything. Yeah, but Rice hasn't played. He doesn't play for Chelsea now, right? Like
not yet.
I kind of agree.
But we didn't mention Rice.
If Tammy went up to Arsenal, I would be bantering him tomorrow, but I won't say anything about him while he's our player.
Hey, Marin, you weren't here the other day when everyone shat on.
Oh no, I was throwing in super chats like crazy. I was getting triggered as fuck. But yeah, no, if I had been here, I would have been arguing.
What do you think's gonna happen if you went to Arsenal?
So I've just seen a video and someone's saying that Torres is the most expensive Premier League player ever because we signed him for 50 million, but in this market he would be 137 million.
Yeah,
someone try to explain that.
Stupid.
That is the most.
No, but again,
they're trying to track. Yeah.
I get inflation, but people have to do context because by that logic, Rio Ferdinand in this day and age would be the most expensive centre back. Wayne Rooney would be probably the most expensive youngster. He would probably cost like what Mbappe cost PSG.
Hey, to play devil's advocate though, it does hold some weight because there's 50 million in a January window too. You do throw on some inflation, and when we got him, you could say it was a very expensive signing for the window at the time as well. Puts him one of the highest.
Side man, the Olympics.
Oh.
Well, if we're taking that approach, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like the total market value of the Premier League was probably super low back then. I don't know what it was. So that signing in relation.
You can't relate it to now. Football changes.
No, exactly. Well, I think you can relate it, but it's weird to do that because that the world is always in change, right? Like you wouldn't expect it to be a constant.
Wasn't a January record signing anyway?
At that time, yeah.
At that time, yeah.
Yeah.
So I held the record for a bit. I mean, what are you gonna go back and talk about how much Shiro's worth these days? Fuck, who cares?
Danny Ings just reportedly failed his medical at Villa. He's now looking for options.
What? They're like, that's technically not a knee.
Feeling it's happening. Lukaku's going down.
Oh, never mind. That's a troll.
He's literally done
That's a lie. He held up the shirt yesterday.
That would have been hilarious.
But do you know that is a great troll because Danny is that banged up that he can fail medicals easy.
On Twitter, honestly.
The doctor looks at his knee and they're like, "This is technically not a joint. Like this doesn't
He's
bend."
right off.
What
Yeah, he's got
is
middle
this?
piece there. Just bend the chassis like they're doing a
Right.
car. Yeah, he's alright. Yeah.
Oh, I need to go get a trim. So I'm going to end the stream now. Big up everyone that's locked in. Smash the like and subscribe button. We'll be back tomorrow for Shameless FC. Maybe another stream as well, depending on the news that pops out. Check out Chelsea Fan TV, 10 p.m. We're going to be doing a live stream there as well, talking about all the news this week as well. So check it out. Smash the like and subscribe button. And yes, guys, we are out as always. Up the Chels.
Mm-hmm.
Up the Chels.